What fact is common knowledge in your field, but almost unknown to the rest of the population? People almost always try to exit through the same door they entered. In a crowded venue, always take a second to find your exit and then find a second exit. Mark them in your brain just in case. In an emergency, most of the crowd is going to go for the main door they came in through. Knowing where another exit is can save your life. Bamboo is a grass, is 100% sustainable, and the plywood made from it is harder than oak, is naturally antimicrobial, is water resistant, stores carbon like a motherfucker, and has similar resistance to compression as concrete. Plus, pandas like it, edited to add about the pandas. Urban heat kills way more people in Australia than bushfires. In the 2009 Black Saturday bushfires in Victoria, 173 people died in the fires, but over 300 died of the heat prior to that. Also, most of those deaths occur at night, not during the day. When you're taking Imodium, you're actually taking an opioid, but it's designed to only interact with the opioid receptors in your digestive tract to slow down your intestines. Scientists were like, hey, you know that anti-diarrhea medication heroin? Well, what if we made a version of that without the pesky side effects of getting you high? Genetics. There's a bunch of stuff we don't report back because they're considered incidental findings. This can include genetic diseases with no treatment, mitigation, or non-paternity. If your kid is sick with a genetic disease and you go get genetic testing done for mom, dad, and little Timmy, we do not automatically report back if dad is no relation or is actually an uncle. At the same time, in most places, you have the right to request your data. Generally speaking, if you add the percentage of the body covered in third-degree burns and the person's age together, you get the likelihood of it being a fatal burn. 32 and 40% burn coverage, about 70% of people in that condition will die. Those high-end or expensive neighborhoods they slap up really fast. Usually gated communities and other semi-exclusive suburbs full of McMansions are built with the absolute cheapest materials and poorest quality, untrained labor. Never buy a spec home without some serious research into what you're actually buying. All that luxury is barely surface deep. The sensors in digital cameras, including phones, are monochromatic. They don't see color, and have a tiny color filter on each sensor element so it can detect one of 3 colors: red, green, blue. Then the image is created by calculating what the other 2 colors might be based on one color value and the values of the nearest sensors around it. TLDR, 2 to 3 of the color in a digital photo is calculated from the 1-3 that is actual data. In archaeology, it's super awesome and great that you brought stuff to an archaeologist at a local dig site near you of things you found in your backyard or nearby asking us appraise it. But the thing is, we're actually more interested in the context the items are found. We want to see the bigger picture. Arrowheads, flint knaps, trade beads, etc. are super cool, but they are worth so much more when we can tell if they are part of a hoard, burial site, ceremonial site, etc. Lab-grown diamonds cost $2 per CT of electricity to grow. The value price has absolutely plummeted on them the last 2 years. Most especially the last 8 months. Don't overpay on them as they all perform. 1 CTS, currently $600 to $800. So for the first time in the history of the jewelry world, you can officially buy moissanites from high-end brands that are more expensive than their lab-grown diamonds of same quality. The amount of people robbed of value the last 2 years is in the millions and dollar amount unfathomable. Had a guy as recent as March spend $24,000 on a 3 CT lab grown online when I was finding them for $5,500 at the time. Places are rushing to make money back from buying in bulk. In movies, they unnecessarily yank on horses' reins, practically ripping their mouths out. Anytime you see their mouths open with the bit pulled way back in there, they're not having fun, and it's for no reason other than maybe drama, and the trainers are shitty for letting that happen. Pain is effectively a psychological phenomenon and a terrible indicator of physical injury. Far too many people think the human body is a simple cause and effect model. It hurts, therefore something where the pain is located must be wrong. Instead, it is much more like a set of wildly complex interdependent systems like climate or stock markets. A lot of medical diagnosis is educated guessing with an over-reliance on singular labels for the benefit of explaining the situation to the patient.